Hey everyone, welcome back to Homegrown Passion. Well, I'm very excited today, so stay tuned to see why. It was 3 weeks ago today that we dropped off the motor from the oil well to Clark & Fowler in Worcester. And here's the motor back. So let me take a look at the invoice to see what they did to it, because I'm sure I'm going to get some questions on that. And let's see. They replaced a ball bearing, replaced another ball bearing, replaced 4 brushes, 4 brush springs. They rewind the armature, rewind the stator, turn and undercut commutator, bore and sleeve bell end and opposite drive end, clean, test, and labor. So it sounds like it was a lot of work they had to do to this motor, so can't wait to get it installed on the well so I don't have to cut firewood all the time. So we already have all the breaker box and the wiring done back at the wellhead. And I'll show you guys all of that in a minute. But one more thing we need to do here in the shop is we have to take this number 4 wire, which has 2 hots and a ground, and some flexible conduit, and get this wire inside the flexible conduit so it's watertight and no moisture gets in there, and then we'll be able to hook the motor up and get this thing running. Got all the wire pulled through the conduit. It was a little difficult because we didn't have a pull wire, but got it through and we're ready to go take it to the back and hook it up to the oil well. Okay, let's get this guy unhooked here from the van. Had them all strapped in place, so while we were driving, he didn't roll around anywhere. Oops. Go ahead and put this wire up on top of here so we can carry the whole thing back to the well in one shot. There, that should. Now let's put this one down underneath here. Okay, I'll get the skid steer and get him unloaded. Even though it's only 48 out, but we got these blue skies, I am dying. I gotta take off my sweatshirt here. Nothing better to work outside when it's warm out. Tell me when. Let me spin it. Okay, got the motor set in place, got the bolts up through here, which was kind of a pain in the butt. Was able to do it, got the wire in place, still got to splice them together with the ones for the motor. And the next thing we're going to do is put the wire up through the control box over there. The original system that was in the control box was at least 35, 40 years old. Instead of having breakers, it had fuses. I had no idea fuses looked like this. I thought it was a shotgun shell. So we have all the new breakers, a new contactor, and a new timer because we only run the well an hour a day, just enough to get the oil off so we can get the natural gas to heat the greenhouse. Now we need to feed the electrical lines up through here and connect them to the contactor, and we should be ready to go. So the sun's going down, it's getting a little bit chillier out here, but got everything all wired up. Had to do a little bit of fabrication with a plate cover here because the hole was a little bit too big and we weren't able to put all the fittings together to hold it in place. So it's all nice and secure, and I think the next thing to do is to turn it on and see how it runs. Got the electrical box all put together, tested everything before we did that, and now it's all safe and sound with all the covers back on, and I bet you can hear that sound in the background. It is so much more quiet than it was before. So I was pumping away, and hopefully the gas pressure builds up tonight and I can start turning the temperature up in the greenhouse tomorrow. So this well was drilled back in 1971. It's a really old well. We're lucky it's still producing. It's 4,000 feet deep. Unbelievable how far down it goes. But we had a service last year, and they said that we should be able to have gas for the next 100 years off of this guy, so we'll keep them going. This is the main gauge that shows the pressure off the wellhead. It's usually at 300 pounds, and when we started pumping it was at 0, and 15 minutes later it's already climbing. So this well is really going to take good care of us. On our maintenance schedule for the wellhead here for this summer is we are going to paint it. And if you ever notice, everything on our farm is tan and green. So I think that's what we're going to do here. Do the same color scheme that we have throughout the whole property. So it's been 24 hours since we put the motor back on the oil well. Ran the well last night for an hour, ran it this morning for an hour, and the pressure is back up to 250 pounds, which is amazing. I'm so happy about that. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my set points for the temperature in the greenhouse, because I've been running everything really low, like at 62 degrees, and things are just kind of limping along, so I really want to jump start it again. So here's the points I'm going to do. First thing in the morning, I'm going to heat it up to 72 degrees. Then after sunset, it's going to go down to 65 degrees. And then for a couple hours in the middle of the night, I'm going to crash it down to 61 degrees so I get the sugars build up into the tomato plants. And then back up to 65 until sunrise, and then go back up to 72. So, 24-hour cycle there. So exciting to get this done again. I can already feel the difference here in the greenhouse, the temperature rising, even though I do have some solar radiation. Plants are going to start perking up here, and I'll give you an update. So I'm going to end the video here, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And like always, leave me any questions, comments, and suggestions down below, and we'll see you next time.